Welcome, curious minds, to another deep dive. Today, we're plunging into what feels like one of the highest stakes areas out there, data compliance, specifically in finance and healthcare. If you're working in these fields, you know it's just such a tightrope walk. We're talking about incredibly sensitive stuff, right? Patient records, critical financial statements. And the real trick isn't just protecting it, but somehow integrating all this data across loads of different systems, all while staying perfectly compliant. So, how do the leading organizations even manage that without getting completely tangled up?
Yeah, that's the million-dollar question, isn't it? Our sources are pretty clear that, really mastering data compliance here. It really hinges on having tech that can unify data, especially across those tricky hybrid setups, cloud, on-prem, legacy stuff. You need security, speed, and trust all at once.
Yeah.
And one of the platforms that keeps coming up for this is Informatica Intelligent Cloud Services, or IECS. But look, this deep dive isn't just about one product name. It's more about understanding how any kind of robust solution helps meet these really tough demands without, killing agility.
Okay. Let's unpack that a bit. When we talk data compliance in finance and healthcare, what are we really talking about? What are the sort of core principles? It feels like it's got to be more than just like ticking boxes.
Oh, absolutely. Way more. It's fundamentally about data privacy, data integrity, and being able to audit everything, auditability. So in healthcare, you got frameworks like HIPAA, very strict on protecting patient info.
Right. And in finance, think SOX, FINRA, they're all about financial transparency, preventing fraud. And then GDPR, of course, kind of hangs over everything globally for personal data. So the challenge is protecting sensitive info, keeping these airtight audit trails, and hitting all those compliance marks while still getting fast, reliable insights. Insights that actually drive patient care or financial decisions.
That sounds, well, incredibly difficult. No easy task. So for companies juggling, say, older systems on-premise and newer cloud stuff, what are the sort of foundational technical ways they can manage all that? Our sources mentioned something about a distributed architecture being key.
That's right, yeah. One really interesting approach is using what they call secure agents. Think of them basically as like dedicated data processing points that sit behind your own firewall.
Behind the firewall, okay.
Exactly. So even if the main commands, the orchestration comes from the cloud, like telling the system, move this data, the actual sensitive data crunching, it never leaves your private secure network.
Ah, I see.
It's a pretty critical innovation, actually. It means your most sensitive information stays put right where you want it, but you still get the benefits of cloud scale for managing it all.
That's a really powerful distinction, where the processing happens versus where the commands come from. But okay, beyond just moving data securely, how do these platforms make sure the data itself is protected? When it's just sitting there, or even while it's being used? And how do they prove every step for the auditors? That traceability piece.
Right. Traceability is huge. This is where you get into comprehensive data governance features. Our sources really stress things like robust data protection, think masking, encryption, that can often be applied natively or, integrated. Imagine like sensitive fields, maybe social security numbers or patient IDs, just getting automatically masked as data flows through.
Dynamically masked, okay.
Yeah. And then for audibility, it's all about detailed logging, really comprehensive lineage tracking, and super granular role-based access controls. Lineage tracking is more than just knowing where data came from. It's like a GPS for your data, showing every single turn, every transformation, every tweak.
Wow.
And with granular access, you control exactly who sees who does what, right down to like tiny data elements.
Yeah.
Tools like, say, Informatica EDC or Axon often complement this, giving you that big picture view of your whole data landscape.
That sounds incredibly powerful for keeping the compliance folks happy. It seems like having the right tech is absolutely crucial then. But what else do our sources say is vital for success here in these really sensitive sectors?
Yeah, that's a really important point, because while the tech is, foundational, success really hinges on disciplined implementation. It really does. It's about setting up those security configurations meticulously, documenting every single integration process, designing everything with that least privilege idea in mind, only give access that's absolutely needed.
Right, least privilege.
And maybe most importantly, it takes the right people. You need teams who really get both the technology and the specific regulations you're dealing with.
So for those of you listening, maybe you're leading data modernization in finance or healthcare. Remember this: compliance. It isn't just some hurdle you have to jump over. It's actually strategic. It's your license to innovate, really. It's the foundation that lets you build new things and get insights confidently without constantly looking over your shoulder.
Exactly. Well said. And it's never really done, is it? It's a continuous journey. As you're building and, maintaining that trust in your data infrastructure, maybe consider this. Long-term success isn't just about the tech. It's about perpetually securing that whole data ecosystem. And that takes the right people and the right practices, always evolving. Is your data governance strategy really, truly part of your overall business strategy? That, I think, is the real measure.